One other thing. Now, before we go to break, and then we'll go to your phone calls, I promise. Now, I shouldn't laugh at this, but I can't help it. Because one of the most fun times I've ever had in my life was when I was a kid when I played practical jokes. I loved playing practical jokes. I mean, I played some of the best practical jokes in the world. On the phone, I did all kinds of practical jokes. One of them, let me just give you an example. And this always pains my mother to hear this story, but it's out. When I was growing up, it snowed one day, and I guess I was about 13 years old. I was about afraid to just sit around the house doing nothing, or bored, just looking for something to do, even though I hated school. So I decided to work up these little practical jokes on the phone with my brother and I. So one day we decided to represent church. I will not represent a church, representing a church in the neighborhood, and call people on the phone and ask them if they could answer some questions about the Bible, and if they could, we would give them $25 and have them come down to church to pick up their prize. And we called it the Know Your Bible contest. We purposely selected what we thought were the names of old people, figuring that they'd be the easiest to fool. So when you're 13, 14, you have a different attitude about seasoned citizens. So you look for names like Ezra and Eli and things like that. Odds are pretty good to get an old person. So call up. And I fortunately had a rather mature voice. I didn't sound 14, so I call up and they answer the phone and they say, "Hello, hi, is this Eli, Ezra, blah blah?" "Yes, it is." "Well, hi, this is Pastor so and so from the so and so church, and we're doing our annual Know Your Bible contest. And it's for you to win $25 while testing your knowledge of the Bible. We have 3 questions for you, and if you answer the first one right, you get $5. The second question you answer correctly, you get $10. It's a go for broke. If you get the third question right, you get $25. But if you miss it, though, you don't win anything. Do you want to play?" "Oh, yeah, sure." So we'd ask him, "What's the first book of the Bible?" "Oh, Ezekiel." "Right, you just won $5. "Good, okay, and in what book will you find the 23rd of Psalm?" "Oh, gee, Revelation." "Right, you just won $10." And so they were never wrong, and we called about 5 people and all won $25, and there was a snow day, remember? So it was hard to get around, and each time we told them, just come down to the church and pick up your cash, a check, and we'd love to meet you and celebrate your knowledge of the Bible. And they say, "Well, snow drive around like this." So we sent a cab for him. And it made the news on TV that night. It made the local TV news. Because his cabs wouldn't pick these people and actually took him to church, and the church called the TV station saying it was the subject of a hoax. And we did it the following summer. So with the Know Your American History contest, representing the Lions Club, we got caught. Because we got bold and we called the wife of the president of the Lions Club just to see how much we'd get away with it. She nabbed us right there. But it still made the news, because if you didn't know how many people are saying, if you were called today by a representative of the Lions Club, asked to go to the Marquette Hotel, and don't. It's not true. So I read this story in the Post today. A prank is aimed at a judge. And it really turned out to be a joke on more than 200 New Yorkers who turned up to a courthouse to apply for jobs that didn't exist. A hoaxer put ads in the Sunday and Monday editions of the New York Times seeking... Now listen to this. You wonder why people respond to this stuff. I mean, this is what amazes me. Seeking secretaries and security guards, quote, "clean records not necessary." So you're guaranteed to attract a bunch of human debris. You're guaranteed to... You just say, "Hey, if you got a record, come on down. The judge wants to hire you." Clean records not necessary. It was $12.50 an hour, so 200 people showed up for the job. Applicants were told to phone Justice Elliot Wilk or to come to State Supreme Court, which is down on Center Street. By early afternoon, more than 200 people have shown up, only to be told that they have been victims of a joker. Here's what one of the eyewitnesses said. People were cursing, shaking their heads. Among those applying for one of the bogus jobs was a woman in her 30s who had traveled from the Bronx. "I just spent money to hire a babysitter," she said, dissolving into tears. She dissolved into tears, folks, because if that's all it takes to make you cry. Now, wait just a second. I mean, Snurdly is acting like I'm being too insensitive. No, wait, don't forget, I am the vain brain here. You know, she dissolved into tears? Just because it turns out to be a hoax. Another applicant screamed, "This is sick, sick, sick," and stormed out. One man refused to believe there were no jobs. It was in the Times, he said. How can it be wrong? It was in the Times. The ads were purchased for a whole week, but they've been pulled out of the Times. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I love practical jokes. It's a shame that this one targeted at me, and the guy who obviously did this is mad at the judge. And the judge is out of town on vacation. I didn't even know anything about it. We'll be right back after this with more. You're listening to the TPB Network. Boing!